Bum, bum. Here we are. We are live, everybody. How we doing?
That was hype. I love that intro. Gets me going every time.
Yeah, me
Who's
too.
this we got on the show today?
Who, this handsome brown man from England?
This
the UK?
Brit sounding from the UK. Shane, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Welcome. Well, I'm happy to be back, Kevin, and partnering with Ronan on this particular episode. So we're probably going to see who's the best cold caller right now, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a competition because you call yourself the best caller on the planet. We all know that I'm the best caller.
I am. No.
We're going to have to find out here by making some live dials. First off, I want to give a quick shout out to this show's sponsor, ConnectAndSell. If you guys haven't tried ConnectAndSell, you really need to. It's not a tool, it's a weapon. ConnectAndSell is your live conversation weapon, allowing you to have instant live conversations with prospects in your target market in a very, very easy fashion. I'm going to be sharing my screen a little bit today at some points throughout the show to show you how easy ConnectAndSell is to use. We're going to be using it to have a lot of live conversations in a short period of time. But hey, Shane, why don't you tell the audience who you are, your background, what you do, and who you're going to be calling today?
My name is Shane. A few people on the network will probably know who I am. I have become an investor and an advisor to private equity firms who are looking to scale their businesses from pretty much 500,000 to $1 million at a starting point. I've sold 2 businesses. One of them is an outbound selling appointments, and then another one for private dining. And now I am working with a compliance company out of Europe, helping scale their team from 5 to 60 people, and hopefully they will be acquired in the next few years. So that's me. Exciting times.
Man, that's exciting indeed. And for everyone else joining us, feel free in the comments down below, wherever your comments are, to share where you're tuning in from, because we'd love to hear from you as well. And should we tell them what they've got in store, Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be making some live cold calls today. This show is done live. This is not a role play. This is going to be actual live calls. Now, there is a legal component to this. You're not going to hear both sides of the audio. You're going to hear one side of the audio. Shane's going to be making dials. I'm going to be making dials. Ronan's going to be running the 1s and 2s today. But I've got my ConnectAndSell logged into my AirPod. I've got 2 screens. ConnectAndSell's going to be running over here. Everything you hear is going to be actual live conversations with strangers. Just a reminder, Shane, no calling warm-ups or follow-ups. No calling follow-ups today.
We're making it competitive. I know Kevin's going after that title that Shane put here as the best caller on planet Earth. We'll see. We'll see what the score is. Shane, Kevin, after today.
What are we doing scores on? Meetings booked or time spent?
This is a cold calling show. It's going to be meetings booked. We're talking results,
Okay.
Shane. Results.
Okay. Let's do it.
Pranav has a good question here. We'll be sharing a recording. If you want to hear the best moments from this show and both sides of the audio, where we can share both sides of the audio, check out the podcast. If you look up the Call Guys podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can hear both sides of the audio. Now, the caveat there is ConnectAndSell is federally compliant. And because of that, if we call into a state where 2-party consent is necessary for call recording, you won't hear those calls. So that's good to know. It's good to know. We're all following the rules today. All right, with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hit go on my side. I'm going to be calling founders today. I'm going to be pitching what we do here at the Call Guys, which is outbound sales, process, structure, and strategy, advisory, consulting. I got a bit of a script here. Shane, who are you calling today?
I'm going to be calling retail and corporate banks for one of my clients.
Okay, retail and corporate banks. I dig it. All right, cool. I am in the queue over here.
Awesome. I'll be curious to hear what openers you guys go with today. Shane, you got any like go-to openers that you like? How do you start it?
I first found Connect and Sell in 2020. And since then, I have not shied away from the breakthrough statement and the 27-second framework. So that's gospel for us. We run with that. Chris Beal taught us that, and we have never strayed from it since.
Chris is definitely on the Mount Rushmore of cold callers. I mean, the man has dedicated his career.
He is legendary.
He certainly is. That 27 seconds, I mean, I'm excited for people to hear it because it's truly a pattern interrupt. You know, it catches people off guard and then suddenly their brains engage, which is like the hardest thing of a cold call. You know, when you're getting into it and the person just doesn't engage with you and they're just trying to brush you off. Fastest way to cut through that is with some sort of a pattern interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, what's your opener? I know yours is a little different.
Yep. I'm going to do permission-based opener. I believe that all cold calls are pretty big interruptions, and therefore I'm going to try and get rid of the number one elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is always, who are you? Why are you calling me? I didn't ask for the call. Are you a solicitor? Are you spamming me? That's what everyone wants to know when you call, when they pick up an unannounced number. So I'm going to go ahead and get ahead of that with a permission-based opener. A little different than what Chris Beal recommends, but hey, there is more than one way to skin a cat here.
There's like 2 or 3.
At least. At least.
I'm curious in the audience, you know, what your go-to opener is. I know right now the popular thing is to use a PBO, a permission-based opener, but not everyone subscribes to it. Some folks are very against the permission.
Hi there, Kevin. Kevin?
Looks like
Hi, I'm trying to speak to Kevin Lenahan. Is he available? I was attempting to call Crown Bank. Have I hit the wrong number? Yeah, so I'm trying to speak to Kevin. Can you put me through to him? He's the CEO and director. Thank you. Tell him it's Shane. He knows who I am.
Ooh, he knows who I am.
I like that.
Well, look, I've got a few numbers for him. I've got his cell phone. I sent him a text message, so he said pop over a call. So here I am. All right, so what number do I use to reach Kevin then? Or should I just hit him up on his mobile again? Okie doke. All right, then. All right, cool. No problem. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in a bit. All right, bye-bye.
All righty. Boom, boom, boom. All right, there we go.
Shane got blocked.
She said it's a branch, so clearly it's the wrong number.
Office line.
Hello, Angie. Okay, I'm trying to reach Angie from Fulton. Is that right? Fulton Bank? So, but I'm at Fulton Bank, right? I'm trying to call the one in New York. Okay, then. All right. Let me check and I'll come back to you. All right.
Boom, boom.
We're not doing too good.
But two quick connects. Two quick connects. That's the power of using a parallel dialer. I mean, you just go one to the next. It dials for you. You connect. It's game changer.
Like I've always said, life is too short to listen to the phone ring. We're not listening to the phone ring. We're simply waiting for a live person to talk in our ear. And when they talk, we talk.
Hey, wrong person. I called the same person again. Wow, my connection rate is through the roof. Too bad it's not the right people.
Yeah.
And a big part of the strategy is your list building strategy as well. You know, where you get that data from.
Where do you guys get your data from?
Variety of sources.
All over the internet.
Of sources. Yeah. One of the
you
things
don't
that
divulge the sources?
no free ads. No free ads is what I say. That's what I say. No free ads. There are probably 25 different places you can get data from. People ask us all the time. They come to Ronan and I, hey, you guys are the call guys. Who has the best call data? And the answer is, well, it's complicated, right? There is no one vendor. Despite what every vendor will say, there is no one vendor that does great for everybody. So
That's very true.
it is a complicated thing. And it's funny that a lot of the executives that we talk with, Ronan and I talk with, they do want that magic bullet. They want one vendor that can do it all. Just doesn't really exist in my experience, For certain segments,
that's
industries, there are databases where you're like, dude, this is all you need. They got everything. They got 5 million cell phones for your target market, but across the whole scope is very difficult.
Yeah, and that's an ever-changing field. Quality data, you got to test it. Whatever you do, you're gonna have to test it.
Kevin with the call guys. James, how you doing?
Got one.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was looking. This is Jim, right? Jim, Kevin Hop here with the call guys. Did I catch you with a quick second to have a conversation? Cheers. All right. That was quick.
No, he did not have a quick second to have a conversation. So why do you go with that opener, Kevin? What's the idea behind that one?
So the idea behind the permission-based opener is, in my experience, based on making a lot of calls. Now, keep in mind, I've made 600,000 calls conservatively. Like one of the biggest challenges, if not the single biggest challenge, is folks trying to have conversations with people that are not busy or that are not available for a conversation, right? So Jim was doing two things at once. I popped into his ear. I said, hey, do you have a second to talk? And he said, actually, no, I don't. I don't. I can't talk right now, and hung up the phone. Now, if I had proceeded to just pitch what we do, what are the odds? Do you think, Ronan, that he would have said, oh, wait, hold on, let me stop what I'm doing and think about my business and outbound sales and growing? Or would he have probably just said, look, take me off your list. I'm not interested. Not interested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is something we talk about a lot on this show, which is if you're going to try to bull rush someone through.
Hey, is that Kerry?
No. We got one.
No.
No, it's not Kerry.
No, it's not. Well, it is, but I think she just hung up on me.
But yeah, that's exactly it, right? So if someone's not going to take the time to chat with you at all, you're not going to get anything out of the call, right? This is something that one of our friends, Colin Mitchell, also had mentioned a few times when he gets connected and someone goes like, no, I don't have time. What's the point of pushing them past what they just said? Whereas if someone says, yeah, sure, I have a half a minute, go ahead. Or I have 27 seconds. Yeah, sure. Then you actually have the opportunity and their attention. So without that, you're not going to get very far. It's not worth wasting that person's effort, I guess, and possibly even souring your name and company name when you reach out to them and you just try to bull rush through that objection. One thing I do like trying, though, is asking, oh, it sounds like I got you at a bad time. When's better? That sometimes opens up the conversation to like, oh, who is this again? Or what's this about? So if you're looking for a way to pivot that into a potential window to go into it, just try asking, hey, when's a better time? When might be better?
What if they say, call me back this afternoon, and then you think that you have a warm lead that you're calling back, and you call them back that afternoon and they don't pick up the phone?
So I always reply with, yeah, happy to call you back in the afternoon. It doesn't make sense for me to share now what I'm going to call about. And if it's not of interest, I won't even call you back then. And half the time they go, no, just call me then. Ooh, we got one. Let's go.
Oh, well, when did she leave? I thought she was still there. Oh, no. So who's the new CMO? My name is Shane. I used to work with Jacqueline. So I've had a referral to come through to you guys and speak to you guys about your ABM strategy. Look, I'm supposed to speak to the CMO. If I don't speak to her today, I'm going to get in big trouble. So is she free? Why don't you have? Why aren't you able to do that? Just out of curiosity, why aren't you able to do that? You don't have the information. All right, put me through to the CEO then, please. So, question, Freddie Nizan is the guy I need to speak to, right? And then last thing before I go, Jacqueline Reynolds is still listed as the CMO on the website. So do you guys want to update that, or? Well, you weren't able to help me, so I didn't get any help. Okie dokie. I'll speak to you soon. Okay, cool. Bye.
Shane,
On
going
to the
right
next.
at it.
On to the next. I'm aggressive, dude.
That was so. Tell us about that.
Well, it didn't get anywhere, but still, sometimes they'll say, "Okay, cool." Some of them fold.
I'll patch you in.
But it's just authority. Like, one thing I've learned is from cold calling, it was always as a younger person.
The call guys. Glenn, how you doing? Yeah, sorry about that. My name's Kevin. I'm actually with the company called The Call Guys. I'm the co-founder of a company called The Call Guys. Did I catch you at the second to have a quick chat? Yeah, we work with tech startups. Glenn, I just wanted to check. Am I talking to the right Glenn? Are you still with 21S? Oh, well, congratulations on the acquisition. Love that. Only 88,000 employees. I mean, that's like it's a mid-sized company, right? Okay. Well, okay. In that case, what we do would not be relevant to you. But Glenn, I'm gonna let you go. You have a great rest of your day. Cheers. All right. So
88,000 people.
It's a big org.
Yeah. So this is a list of startup founders, right? So this guy sold his startup in, I believe, February, like very recently. And this is like
Congratulations to him.
Right? This is part of the problem that data companies face is like, how are you supposed to stay so up to date on that? Like, but it's so quick. Like, data changes in every single day. Data changes, and it's like he used to be, but now he got acquired by a 88,000 person company.
Hey, Glennis. Sam, you're speaking to Shane. Look, I'm sorry I'm an interruption. It is a cold call. So do you want to hang up the phone, or do you have a moment to chat? You're speaking to Shane. I'm the CEO of a company called Project X in London. Okay, I wanted to speak to you about your outbound strategy and potentially increasing your pipeline over the next 3 to 6 months. I wanted to see if that's a conversation worth having if we can find the time to speak. David. Awesome. Quick one. I've come through to your line. I just want to make sure that I don't disturb you if this isn't your line. So I was trying to reach Glennis Marsh. I was told to speak to him, but I'm speaking to you, and your name is? Sam. Look, I'm going to connect with you on LinkedIn. You sound like a nice dude. So Do you have a last name? Sorry? And are you the president of the company? Just one of the regional managers. Those are kind of important people. Kind of a big deal at a company like yours. So look, if I speak to David, as a regional manager, are you in charge of sales? Are you in charge of operations? What are you really focusing on right now? Okay. Do you support your sales team with your knowledge of the product lines? Awesome. So look, before I reach out to David, I have a bit of info from Glennis. Obviously, I'm speaking to you right now. When you look at the product lines, and if you saw an opportunity to increase the amount of customers you could attain in a year, what suggestion would you give to the sales team if you were heading up the organization? Just like if you were shooting from the gut, what would you say? What would your suggestion be on increasing annual sales? Well, look, I'm trying to help. So look, I'll jump in real quick. Sorry to interrupt you and chime in there. I help companies scale. I help them scale 2, 3, 4, 5x. Some companies I've worked with are NASDAQ companies, NASDAQ listed companies, NYSE listed companies. And right now, you could probably hear from the tone of my voice, I work in London and I help FTSE 250 companies. So if increasing annual sales, look, everybody's going to have an opinion. David will have an opinion as the CEO. He's going to want to do 101 things. You as a regional product line manager, you're in the weeds of things and you understand what's happening. What would your suggestion be? Like, that's what I'm looking for. Just a gut feeling. Would you approach more people in Europe? Would you approach more people in APAC? Would you approach more people in North America or even South America? If you had one suggestion to change everything, what would you do? And if you were to expand the team, what would be the perfect size of the team you'd expand it to? 100 or 1,000? So maybe like 20. Awesome. No, look, it's cool. Look, Sam, like I said, I really value the people within these organizations because your opinion and your view of how everything looks, it really does matter. David is going to see a 30,000 foot view. You're going to see maybe a 10,000 foot view, but you also see David and what he's doing from the top line. But look, Sam, I'm going to connect with you on LinkedIn. You're speaking to Shane Mahi. Connect with me on LinkedIn. And then if I do have an opportunity to speak to David, I could probably fill you in with some information about what we can do to maybe increase sales in your division. And if you could become the hero for the next 2 years, I'm sure we'll have a nice chat when I visit America next year. No doubt. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Wow.
So now
nice.
I know that they want an opportunity to increase annual sales. The focus is on a number of specific areas. They want to reach more people. They want to expand the team to 20 or 30. I'm going to speak to David, who's the CEO, and I'm going to wow him.
I love it. So what's your move from here? So you're going to reach out directly to David, or you're going to go collect more info?
I'll say I know there's a number of things floating around the organization,
Nice.
around expansion, and let's have a chat. I think I have some good ideas to help you grow.
That's a great move. Yeah, you do like a reconnaissance mission on a call or two, collect some info, use that to position it as, look, I've already done my research. I talked to this person and that person in your organization. Here's what I know. This is exactly what I do. Would it be crazy if we explored how we could work together?
Absolutely.
I love
That's
it.
it. Every conversation is an opportunity. But like I said, the one thing that helps me stand out from the rest is my authority and my voice. My tonality is another thing, but anybody who is actually watching this, you will always start off in cold calling, looking up to people and kind of asking them for that time. And I was thinking when I was, my third or fourth year of sales, I said, you know what, I'm going to look down on these prospects and these executives like I'm above them.
With the call guys, Peter, how
and
are you?
It worked.
Nice. Kevin's got one.
Hey, Peter, I know I'm calling you a bit out of the blue here. Did I catch you with a minute to have a quick cold conversation, or are you heads down on something else? I could hear some background noise. Yeah, capable health. Oh, right on. Do you have a new venture? What was that? Oh, okay. Right on. Are you by chance nowadays you working in a B2B tech startup? Oh, taking some time off. Fantastic. All right, Peter. Well, have a great rest of your day. Cheers. Look,
I like how you still got into it. You always want to check. They might be in a similar role at a similar company.
yeah.
Nothing? No dice?
Yeah, what were we saying about data? So Peter, so the risk of calling startups, right? One of the things that Ronan and I do is advise very early stage startups on outbound sales structure and strategy. So if you call an early stage startup, this guy said he closed his startup. No longer a startup. Once again, something that happened recently, very recent. So this is,
Yeah, last time I was dialing, I got a large number of people who were no longer working at the company, which makes sense. Calling tech companies, tech went through layoffs. It's a bloodbath out there for some folks in Silicon Valley. So if that happens, just, empathize with the person. What's next?
and
There's nothing there, you move on.
Yeah,
you should tell them you have the wrong leadership and you weren't supposed to be CEO. You suck, and you should contact Shane.
And then there's Shane.
Succeeded.
All guys, how you doing today?
Oh, got another one.
Hey, Gabriella, this is Kevin. I'm actually the co-founder of a business called The Call Guys. I know I'm calling you out of the blue here. I apologize. Did I catch you with a minute to chat, or are you heads down on something? Sounds good. Okay. This is another one where she said she no longer has a business. But all right. So, and then if you look at LinkedIn, I'm looking at her LinkedIn, it says she's the CEO of the business.
You can only do so much. If LinkedIn's not up to date, if the data source that you get the data from isn't up to date, I mean, what do they say? It's there's like 50% drop off in your data after how many months? Like 6 months? There's some crazy statistic like that. It turns over so fast. And now, currently with the climate, it's turning over faster.
Yeah, I mean, this was how are you supposed to see this coming? Because even if you take the time to do a little diligence, like still says she's involved with the business on LinkedIn and stuff like that. So bummer, onward and upward. But this list is hitting. Hopefully we get another one.
Gotta love it when the weapon works. You just keep going. Conversation. This is like the same number of conversations typical SDRs have when they manually dial,
What when they dial with ConnectAndSell or another one?
No, with nothing. When you're just manually dialing, this is what you'll have in a full day of dialing, like 3 hours, this many conversations.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. I remember when I first saw ConnectAndSell, I was like, what the hell is this? We went on a test drive with Jerry and our team booked 7 meetings I think it was our test drive day. So in 3 hours, we booked 7 meetings. We used Cognism at the time. I don't have no shame in telling who we use for data, but Kurt, you're speaking to Shane. I'm the CEO of a company called Project X in London. Look, the reason I was reaching out to you, I have you down as a CMO at Billing Platform. Are you going to kill me for getting the information wrong, or do I have the right provider, and should I keep doing business with them? I don't have the right information. Shucks. It's not Kurt Anderson from billing platform. A prospect hung up. Dialing is paused. No. He said he's the wrong person. He thinks, I think you got the wrong number.
Yeah, and so that happens too, right? Wrong number. You got to go back to the source. Now, one of the pro moves is using your call dispositions in ConnectAndSell to identify, take this one out of my list. Bad data. Mm-hmm. If you're not using that disposition, you're just going to keep dialing that number. You got to take it out.
Let's see who else we get. That's a cool name. Trap Technology.
It's a trap. Shane, I want to get back to how you landed on that tone, because you were about to say something pretty insightful, which is when callers get started, they are calling up, right? They have this idea of like, oh my gosh, my prospect is like this person on the pedestal,
a VP, or
so important, and I'm an interruption to them. But what you're doing is you flip the mindset the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Shane.
I'm the boss.
Do I need to talk to your CEO? Do I need to talk to your boss? Like, you show up with this kind of confidence. So how did you land on that?
I just got tired of people telling me to piss off, shut up, go away. One person said, I would be so happy if you died and never called me again. Right? And I was just like, wow, these guys are really, really, really like, they don't like this stuff. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go in with some tone and authority. Like, I'm the big cheese and I'm Mr. Head Honcho. And it just gave me the confidence that, like, that man or that woman is no better than you. They are no much more important than you.
Yeah.
This is a job. You get paid for people to say no to you. There's no other profession in the world where people get paid for you to say no to you. And it's just, life is too short. Like, every single opportunity you have on the phone, you have to capitalize on it, especially if you're getting paid for it. So why let somebody undermine you or treat you any less than what you believe you are? Be the best at what you can be, show up and get the job done. Like, and one of the best things about cold calling for me was I used to get my job done before 12 o'clock with my meetings, 2 to 3 meetings a day, book demos, 150 calls. Like, I was a cannon. And that's why opening a business in the midst of the pandemic, literally July 2020 is when we opened our business. And by year 2, we had cracked $1 million in sales. Like,
it's incredible.
We're ruthless.
And you're a call first strategy. So you're dialing.
Always. Even in year 2, we were strictly phone, but now we're going to be scaling a few other companies beyond what we are doing now. And that is going to need a bit more than just cold calling.
But Shane, email's so easy. Why not just, shoot out 1 million emails to people? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, cold calling.
My hands don't work. That's what I say. That's what I say on the phone. So try that one. When they say send me an email, I said, look, I broke my hands today. I really can't. What do you want me to do? Can you send me an invite?
Hey, this is Kevin. Christy, how you doing today?
Got one.
Christy? Wait. Hold on. I heard a lot of background noise.
It's like when you're fishing and the line snaps as soon as you catch.
Yeah, so hold on. Let's do a quick Google. Oh yeah. Seems like
Kevin gets back into it. Shane, I mean, in all seriousness, there's a reason why when we do consulting engagements with clients, what we always implement as the strategy is a call first strategy. It's a really obvious reason for it. One, unlike email, you can go straight to someone's phone if you have the number. It's the fastest way to get results. You get someone on the phone, you're talking to them live. They can get an email, sit on it, think about it. You don't know what's happening. But when it comes
to the only way, but if that in my opinion, it applies if you have a dialing mechanism. Only if you have a dialing mechanism, because if you're calling with let's just say a one-click to dial, Zoom dialer, and you plan to send emails with that, you're going to get trashed.
Totally. Now, I mean, let's qualify that, right? So like if you've got a tiny territory or tiny addressable market with like maybe under 200 to 300 accounts total, maybe it doesn't make sense to, shoot out 300 to 500 dials a day, 600 dials a day on a weapon like ConnectAndSell. It might not be a good strategy, probably not a good strategy. But for the rest of us, with large markets that we're getting after or a huge patch of a territory, how else are you going to cover ground? In today's day and age, you can't get through the spam filter if you're going to email people. There's huge limitations, and they're only getting worse with that. Social media is getting flooded right now with Chat GPT content, all sorts of things that are causing people to stray away from it, and it's getting louder and louder. Social is a part of our strategy as well, but not the first step. Nothing beats connecting live. There's something intimate about that too, right? Like you're right there. You're in their ear. You can feel them. They can feel you. You can convey feeling through your tone. In Shane's case, he's trying to convey authority, which is a very pro level. No one starts out doing that unless you're already super confident in yourself. Very few callers start out getting to that level. So there's something special about being able to cold call.
For sure. One of the things you mentioned there, Ronan, about folks that say they have small addressable market in cold calling. I think that cold calling is still very applicable. When you have a small total addressable market, you have to aim small and miss small, because the cost of someone getting upset or you not understanding exactly who you're talking to or whatever, all the little things that might happen at when you're doing real dialing, like real high volume dialing, it becomes very costly. So I think you could still cold call, but if you have only 200 or 300 people you could talk to in a year. Oh, hey, this is Kevin with the Call Guys. Sanjay, how are you? Fantastic. Look, I know I caught you out of the blue here.
Literally just got to connect.
Did I catch you with a minute to have a quick conversation, or are you heads down something else? Yeah, so I'm with a business called the Call Guys. We work directly with B2B tech startups that are trying to do more with less, given the current state of the tech space. Oh, okay. All right, I'll let you go.
I need a soundboard for our next show. I need a soundboard. I want to do that like.
Yeah.
So getting crushed.
That was the that was the old fashioned, I get permission-based opener, right? And he says, yeah, go ahead, of course.
He wasn't paying attention.
And then in the middle of my pitch, he goes, hey, I'm busy. I can't talk right now. And I'm like, well, dude, I'm only talking because you told me to talk. Let's be very clear. I'm only talking because you told me to talk to you. But whatever, onward and upward, right? A big piece of this is he's on my list. He's going to be on my list tomorrow. He's going to be on my list the next day. I'll have a conversation with Sanjay. I'll get back in front.
All right, we are halfway through the show. I'm going to start putting money on Shane at this point, that Shane's going to beat Kevin.
Oh, that's good.
KIM, buddy. KIM. Keep it moving. Let's go. Let's go. Well, this is what should have happened in the war. The UK should have crushed the US, but different times, right?
Like 400 years ago?
Hello, is this Thea? No, it's not Thea. Thea just banged on me. Let's call Thea back. Double dial. Let's double dutch this woman.
Ooh, we call that the double tap. Double tap.
Double tap. Double tap. Tap, tap.
Why are you calling me? Why are you calling me again? You just called me twice. Come on, Thea.
Aaron's got a good point here, right? When you are calling into an enterprise environment, the conversations you should be having should be very, very different across the different people. So calling a bit slower would be a good idea. But we're talking about like 2% of salespeople out there should slow down and not use a dialer. 98% should, like 98%, like everybody else should, because if you're not having, call it 10 live conversations every single day with people in your prospects in your market, are you really moving the ball forward, right?
Hey, Thea. Thea. It's Shane. It doesn't sound like you speak English. Thea, do you speak English? No. Are you speaking Spanish? Do you still work at Upstage? No comprendo. Oh my god, I must have the wrong number. All right, bye.
Shane, with authority, he laying it down. That was
False
awesome.
positive.
Oh
This
man,
is
I love
not
that.
the right number. Not the right number. I have fun. I honestly like. I don't make as many cold calls as I should now, just because I'm sitting on the other side. But when I do, I have fun with it, man. It is fun. Like, you can either choose to be boring. Hey, is this Steven? Jesus, I am having a terrible time today. Yes, you can help me. I'm trying to reach Stephen Lambright. I was planning to speak to the company AEYE Inc. So, do I have the right number? Oh no. It says he's present. It says he's present in the San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, if he's not there, just put me through to Matt. To Matt. Matt Fish. Matt Fish. He's in Dublin. He's in Dublin, California. No, I was trying to reach it's AEI. I don't know how you say it. AI. I think it's AI, but it's AEYE. Product. No worries. So I think yeah, production resource group. So I have pushed myself forward ahead of my list with looking at my CSV. So I have the right number. However, I would like to ask, if I do, now that I'm on the right name, let me go, if you can put me through to Richard Williams. The only thing is, I don't know if he's in the US or if he's in the UK at the moment. Oh, you don't know either? All right. Do you want to give me his cell phone and then I can hit him up on his cell phone? Okay, so he's in the UK right now. If I called him, he'd probably be having dinner, right? Okay, cool. Let me. No, it's 5 hours, just so you know. But I will send him an email and message him on WhatsApp. Thank you very much. Okie dokie. Bye bye. Dialing.
Message him on WhatsApp. That's how I know you're not in America.
I used to be when we used to use Viber, and I used to have.
Ooh, I remember
don't know.
Viber.
Viber. I'm an '86 baby, so I grew up in Jersey.
Oh yeah,
New
no
Jersey.
kidding.
Yep.
Well, you're in our you're in our orbit too. I'm a 90 baby.
Crystal hung up
Got
on me.
another one. Ooh. So are you calling office lines? What is this?
I call all kinds.
You got it mixed in, cell and office?
Smart. Yeah, so I usually have 3 numbers. Hey, I'm trying to reach Crystal. Can you put me through to Crystal McFerrin? What it's in regards to, it's Shane. She'll know who it is.
Shut up, Mark Matt.
My apologies. I'll see what I can do. That's what authority gets you. Into the room. Fast track your MSP growth. So one thing I always do too is I have their LinkedIn profile, I have the company, and I pop those up. Hey.
Nice.
Oh no, why is she unavailable? Is she okay? Oh, well, I sounded alarming, so I just wanted to be sure because I speak to her quite a bit. So when is she going to be free? Do you have like an out of office or something, or a do not disturb? Because I can call back in 10 minutes. No way. Oh no. Is she gonna listen to my voicemail or is she gonna delete it? Well, no, like I said, is she actually gonna listen to it? You probably know her quite well, right? All right, cool. I'll send that. Look, then before I go, I do know that Tim may still be in the office, unless he's at a speaking conference right now. So can I speak to Tim? He's at lunch. Do you know what he's eating?
Cheeky.
All right, cool. Look, I'm just having fun too. I do know Tim. I do know the other one, and I will call you back later. Yes. So, what was your name? You're speaking to Shane. Thank you, Kay. All right, bye. Spoke to the woman that runs the whole office. David is having lunch, and I forgot who the other one was. Front desk receptionist. Okay.
I love
Let's
it,
see how
Shane.
many
Something
more
I want to
connections
call
I
out
get.
there on that tone. So one of the reasons why it's coming off as confident, if you talk about the pace of your tone, it's very consistent. People who lack confidence speak very quickly. You're slowing it down half a step there, just enough for it to feel like there's some sort of authority. The second thing, if you think of volume, people who have authority speak with normal volume. They don't have to have a high pitch like they're nervous or concerned. So that's also, if you break down what the tone is, it's slower and the actual volume of it is lower. And the slow and low is a great combo to come off as confident. Slow the pace down, low the volume. And when you do
I
that,
also taught Jordan Belfort. Yeah, so Jordan Belfort, I taught him what he does now. Kind of
that's
a big deal.
kind of a big deal.
Straight line. You guys know about the straight line method?
Yeah, we've got our own straight line methods. It's kind of similar to Jordan's approach when it comes to what you're doing on the actual script of what you say. But the idea is just to get them through to that point where you're able to have the conversation that you want to have.
Sometimes just even a bit of personal behavior, like, hey, would you want to teach me something? You've been in this position for quite a while. What's one thing I can learn from you? And that will always, everybody likes to speak about themselves. Everybody. That's like the one big thing I've mentioned. I mentioned it to Kevin last time. Charm in the UK and Charm in New Jersey was making somebody feel good about themselves. And if you can do that, I have won a £210,000 contract in the past 7 months from a cold call.
Boom.
Yeah,
right.
cold calling
These are
is
the types
dead,
of
right?
That's if you suck at it. Right, Mark? Right, Marky Mac?
Mark
That's
Mack
exactly
knows.
right.
He's
Mark
listening.
Mack knows. Mark Mack's going to be on this show in a few weeks here. Tune in.
Ooh,
By the way,
sneak peek.
so everyone knows we're doing this show every other week now. Call guys are doing it every other week. We're going to be putting out a podcast on the in-between weeks, talking to some of the biggest names in sales development and sales as well. So look out for that. Subscribe to the podcast. But if you want to see more live cold calls, hear more live cold calls, learn how to get better at cold calling, we're going to be doing this.
Hey, Ashley. Hi, Ashley. You're speaking to Shane. I know I'm an interruption, and from what it seems, I was supposed to be calling your US number, but I think I've come through to the UK number. I wanted to speak to you about Blue Cube. Is now a good time to speak, or should I call you tomorrow? Absolutely. Is there a time that works best for you? I don't want to disturb you during the day. Three or four. All right, 3 or 4 p.m. UK time. And the topic, just before you go, I was going to speak to you about some of the newer disruptive ABM strategies that we're implementing with some of the larger companies in the space. And I heard that you guys were focusing on a more of a hyper-focused approach, a little bit more targeted. So would that be the right agenda to speak to you about if it was a conversation? All right, then. No, I wouldn't. Again, I'm not looking to work with you right now. What my purpose is? Look, I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Project X. I'm on a show right now, so I can't actually say the name of the company. But what I do is I help companies scale from 500K to about $1 million plus in revenue in less than 12 months. And one of those strategies that we use is through ABM, hyper-focused strategies, and we use unique differentiators that separate us from the rest. I don't know if you've heard of transmission or ABM momentum, but I'll pop over a few things in an email. I'm just looking for an introduction. Like I said, I'll connect with you on LinkedIn, and if it looks like it's something that piques your curiosity and raises an eyebrow, I think we should chat. Sound fair? Awesome. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Nice.
Boom! And that's how you do it, buddy.
Now, if we had that soundboard, Kevin, I would do one of the like, wow, 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 wow. It's worth an investment. I can write that off.
I wish you guys could hear the other side and hear what.
Tell us about it. What happened? Take us through the call. That's what we're here for, Shane.
She is. She's in the UK. So, yes, I am in the UK. Tomorrow would be better. Okay, what time am I going to call you? Call me around 3 to 4. I want to speak to you about ABM. Is that a topic that you're looking at? Yes, it is, but we're working with an agency. Okay, well, we're a differentiator. I've name dropped the 2 biggest agencies in Europe. And she said, okay, cool. That sounds good. Let's speak tomorrow.
Boom.
Dang.
Done deal. And she'll know.
Love seeing it.
Now, here's a hot tip for all the cold callers listening. When you book it, you want to confirm it. So one of the things that Kevin and I train people to do when we're going through the whole 9 yards is closing the call, because so often people take these calls and then they don't show. So if you want to increase your show rates, there's 2 real simple things you could do. The first thing is you could say, hey, I'm going to send out that invitation if it's a virtual meeting, which usually it is. I'm going to send out that invitation right now. Just when you get that, go ahead and hit accept so I know that it went into your inbox, your calendar. Otherwise, I'm going to assume it went into your spam and I'll follow up with you. By the way, if you need to change anything, 24 hours before, whatever, just let me know. We can always move the time around. But the last thing is, and for many of you, if you're booking a call for somebody else, like an AE, which is very common, I'm going to bring on my account executive. He's really the expert here who's going to take you through the whole call. The reason I'm telling you that is so that you don't get surprised when someone else shows up to the call. But again, if anything needs to change, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, accept the invite when you see it so we know that you got it. And we're looking forward to connecting with you tomorrow. You want to go ahead and do that extra layer of confirmation. And then what do you do? Like within day of, morning of, day before, I always send in the calendar invitation. If you use G Suite, you just hit the email button right there. Hey, really looking forward to our chat tomorrow. Just a quick reminder. If you use something like Calendly, they have a feature where you can just have it automatically remind people 24 hours before. That extra nudge, that extra bump also increases your show rates. So you take all of these little elements and you put them together, you can see your show rates go up. I've heard people who have like really bad no-show rates. Sometimes 30, 40% of people don't show up. Mm-hmm. Implementing a few of these little strategies can sometimes 2x your show rate. You know, you can cut that in half, the no-show rate, and get it up. Usually best in class standard is like anything above 80% show, 20% no-show is like baseline. Anything above that's usually already entering good territory. So basically 1 in 5 tend to no show as like baseline good. And then everything past that is excellent.
What's have you guys been exposed to the manufactured no-shows by ConnectAndSell yet?
Manufactured no-shows?
So
is that just a British word for something English that is different?
No, that is the words of the head honcho of the organization. So manufactured no-shows are part of a strategy that one of the top performers, the top performer of the entire organization uses. So Cheryl Turner. She is an absolute beast on the phone. And what she does is she will speak to the prospects, and sometimes they don't have their calendar, or she's cooking in the kitchen, for example. So what they do is, or what they insist upon is,
Cooking and booking meetings. Cooking and booking.
I'm gonna schedule the invite into your calendar right now. If it looks good, accept it. If it's not, no big deal. We can reschedule it. And what they end up doing is, when they call back and say, hey, look, we had that meeting scheduled. You were filling up your gas tank, for example. Oh, yeah, I remember. Look, I'm sorry I missed it. How about we speak tomorrow? Bang. Those kind of meetings are always, always, always more profitable in terms of attribution than the people who show up on the first day. And what Sean Cease and Chris Beal mentioned on one of their most recent posts is the people that answer the phone and accept those meetings on the first try typically don't go nowhere. But the ones that you do chase a number of times and you actually follow up with them, those tend to be the most profitable opportunities. And as I mentioned, a cold call that happened in 2021 with, hey, give me some advice, transitioned to another call in 2022, which won me 30K. 6 months later, it won me 180K. So over 2.5 years, it waited 100 to 180 to 210,000, 30K difference. That's the power of a cold call.
That's
some
incredible.
of my biggest deals with massive oil and gas companies. It took 18 months to get through the organization, 135,000 pounds in revenue on one event. So cold calling can win you some huge business, but again, you got to have some balls. You got to have some balls. You know what I mean? Some cojones.
Cojones.
Is that what they call it in the UK?
I think that's what they call it in Mexico.
Well, we're in San Diego, so we're neighbors. Yeah, that's exactly right, though. Being able to follow up with those low-hanging fruit opportunities, one of the easiest ways to guarantee meetings, get some pipeline. So often I see SDR teams like missing the low-hanging fruit. This should be like a recurring thing that you do every few weeks. You go back into no-shows, reschedule. How do we get them? As well as previous folks you spoke with. Nothing is better than somebody who already knows your name, somewhat familiar with you. If you can get that person back on the line, that was one of the ways that with a previous employer, I was able to generate tens of millions of dollars of pipeline over the course of years, is just going back into some of the old stuff, whether it was a few weeks later or a few months later. But the no-shows, oh man, do not sleep on those. That's an easy way to get a few extra meetings that are going to be usually, like Shane is saying here, even better quality. Now, there's a caveat. If the person doesn't show how many times, at what point do you cut bait? So for me, I have a rule. My rule is you miss one, okay, life happens. You miss a second one, I check. Hey, look, I don't want to waste your time or anything, but like if you're really not interested in this, we don't have to reschedule it. If you're serious about insert priority or item that you believe is of importance to them, then we'd love to still chat. Up to you. That's my rule of thumb, is I don't want to waste anyone's time here. If you're ultimately not going to show up again and again and again, that's not respectful. Let's just cut bait and move on, So I give him one, life happens. Second time, I push back. And more often than not, people are pretty straight with you. Or you get the feeling of what is happening right away. You know exactly where their mind is at if they don't even respond to that.
I agree. But then sometimes I think about it, for example, the past year, there are a number of solutions that I have bought and I've missed my call about 14 times, honestly. And it's only because I'm busy and things happen. I've had a baby.
But you're engaged with them, right? Like you keep going back and forth. You're not disappearing.
I'll reschedule. Yeah, I will reschedule with them, and I'll hit them up and say,
"Yeah, hey, look, that's different.
Push it to next week. Push it to next week." But people who are arrogant and don't actually give you any message, then I'll send them a nice video that says, "Hey, hand gesture. We are not going to speak again." That's a joke, by the way.
All right. Well, we have come to the end of today's show. Before we wrap up, let's give one more shout out to our sponsor today, ConnectAndSell, your live conversation weapon. Allowed us to have a lot of good conversations today. We're going to have even more in 2 weeks' time. Follow our page to get notified when we go live. Check out the podcast to hear both sides of the audio. Anywhere we can, play both sides of the audio legally. And thank you so much, Shane, for coming on today. How can people connect with you?
Thank you.
What's the best way for people to connect with you? Just LinkedIn, or do you have an offer?
LinkedIn,
Like that?
the new podcast, Redline Podcast, Ideas Exchange, Sales Driven, Driven Limited, Driven Ventures. You can see all on LinkedIn, the websites. That's the easiest way. WhatsApp if you actually know me, or a referral too, but most likely LinkedIn.
Love
Hell
it.
yeah.
Love it. All right. Well, everybody tune in next week for another, or 2 weeks from now, for another edition of the Call Guys Making Live Cold Calls. Everybody have a great rest of your day.